As we've been drinking MMA, we are breaking down and predicting the Yusuf Barboza fight night for UFC fight card, and this is the second fight on the main card. It is Edgar Chairez versus Daniel Lacerda. We're running it back. They just fought a few weeks ago, or was it a month ago?
Yeah, not that long ago.
September 16th.
2 weeks ago?
Yep. And it ended up in a draw. It was weird because Chairez had a...
I would say anaconda choke.
Anaconda choke. Standing anaconda choke. Standing Darce choke. And Lacerda had his arm was okay, and then all of a sudden the ref was checking it again, and then it was fine, and then it just went limp for a split second, and the ref's like, okay, I guess you're out. But the ref didn't actually try and look at it, try and touch the arm and see if it was limp. He's just like, oh, well, I tried it twice, and now it looks limp, so I'm going to assume he's asleep. And then, Chairez let go of the choke, and then Lacerda was like, hey.
Yeah, that just opens the door for the... Yeah, I mean, that's ridiculous. Like, if
you check your arm twice, and then you let your arm go actually limp.
I think we were talking about this earlier. Like, if a ref is checking on you to see if you're conscious, and your first reaction is to let your arm go limp, I mean that's ridiculous.
You're asking to lose the fight.
Yeah. I mean, come on. And let's have common sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, to be fair, Lacerda is 0-4 when that fight happened. 0-4 in the UFC.
Yeah.
I mean, he knew that was probably his last fight, and I think what he was maybe trying to do, I'm not going to speculate too much, but it could have been that he was just trying to have like a draw so he could have just one more fight so he could go collect some more sponsor money or whatever it is and be like, hey, I fight in the UFC or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, that was so sketchy. It was so sketchy, and he felt the ref check his arm twice. Once, 2 seconds later, check it again, and then he let it go limp, and then he knows the ref's going to call the fight.
Well, the first time he pulled up and then pulled against the Edgar.
Yeah.
He pushed against Edgar. And the second time he pulled, and then his arm went limp.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, we're done.
Yeah. The ref checked it once, checked it twice. Third time, Lacerda, he didn't have to check it. Lacerda's arm just went limp.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, I guess Lacerda's finished. He's asleep. And Lacerda, and then Chairez let the choke go because he thought he won, obviously, and the ref thought he won too. And then Lacerda's like, hey, that's not right, and it's like, dude, come on, you're 0-4 on your last fight, most likely. Listen, if you're 0-4, you probably should have been released already.
Yes.
But he's got a good capoeira.
By finish,
but he's got good capoeira kicks, very flashy with the spinning kicks. Doesn't have much.
Dangerous in that first round.
Yeah, he can be dangerous, but he is 0-4, and all 4 he's been knocked out or submitted, all finishes. So. The guy's just, he was, I think, afraid, and he wanted another fight. Here you go. He's running it back with Chairez.
The same fighter.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fight that we're not going to put money on. Listen, neither of them have one win in the UFC. They're all, Chairez is 0-1 and 1 because of the draw, and then Lacerda is 0-4 and 1 because of the draw. So it's not a fight that you can really pick who's going to win. And I wouldn't even pick going the distance because Lacerda is got gas tank issues and he gets finished every fight. So it's one of those fights.
And Chairez makes weird decisions like pulling guard.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So
I personally think that the UFC is like, listen, we're going to give you 1 week, cut weight again in what is this, 2 weeks now, 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
This is insane for both fighters. I think the UFC just basically wants both fighters, or at least Lacerda, to be gone quickly because they're sick of, they owe him a fight. Yes. And they're like, okay, well, technically you were able to be like, hey, that's not right, whatever. And the UFC's like, you know what? I don't care. We're going to book you 3 weeks again, and hopefully you're out of here after this. This is what I think they're doing.
Well, especially if he loses in the same way.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Like, if he actually gets re-naked choked, like, there's no way you can keep a guy that's had 5 fights, and every single fight he's been
at this point, UFC doesn't want to look bad. Like, UFC might look bad and be like, oh, but it was controversial, and then you let him go. So UFC is just doing this for PR, in my opinion.
I mean, I guess it's kind of controversial.
It's just weird, right?
But, I mean, there's no common sense. There's no fight IQ. When it comes to Lacerda.
no fight IQ.
No, I mean, in that particular instance.
Right.
There's no IQ as far as, like, a ref's checking you and you let your arm go limp.
Yeah. Yeah, that is why both of us tentatively are picking Chairez, just because Lacerda's fight IQ is suspect.
I'm picking Edgar as well, But like,
no money
I'm
going
not
in
no
on it.
money going in on
He's
it.
not going to ruin our parlay. He's 0-1-1 and Lacerda 0-4-1. So
you never know when those kicks might land, those spinning kicks. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. Lacerda's throwing these spinning capoeira kicks. They could land maybe, but again, he's not really like purposeful. You know, he's just getting punched to the body. He's getting kicked to the leg, and then he throws something. It's just not very purposeful with his strategy. And Edgar Chairez is, throwing leg kicks with more power, but maybe not as often. And then his punches are not so great. And then he'll punch to the body once in a while. So
when he's countering strikes, he throws heat.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe Chairez with the better IQ and maybe slightly more power on the punches, and Lacerda, we talked about him. So I'm just looking forward to this fight being over and this saga being over.
Yeah. I just want this particular show to be canceled. Yeah.
Yeah, same. I really don't. I don't care to really watch it. It's just gonna happen, and I'm gonna make some popcorn, make some food during the break.
Yeah, get yourself that sandwich.
Get some drinks. Yeah. We've been drinking MMA.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening. Like,
subscribe, comment.